The Cursed Road of Azbet Moussa el Deeb. True story from a village near Mansoura, Egypt. It was the summer of 2018 when I received a call from my cousin. He asked me to join him on a visit to my aunt's house in a village near Senbalawain, called Azbet Moussa el Deeb. The village belonged to her husband, and I agreed to go. We dressed, caught the train, and arrived by noon. Everything seemed normal. We greeted the family, had lunch, and spent the afternoon chatting. But once night fell, everything changed. By 9 p.m., the entire village was eerily silent. Like most rural farmers, the locals went to bed early. Darkness enveloped the village. I mean real, absolute blackness, no lights, no movement, not even the chirping of crickets. It felt like time had frozen. Being outsiders, a group of local young men invited us to sit with them near the villa in the middle of the surrounding farmlands. They lit a fire, a typical Arab gathering, as they called it, and the stories began. They shared local tales of old fights, family feuds, and violent deaths. But one story, one detail, clutched my soul with a grip of ice. A man pointed toward the nearby road and said, "On that very path, 52 men from the family of Hajj Abu Amin died." I was stunned. "What happened?" I asked, heart pounding. He leaned closer, lowered his voice, and began. Years ago, two large families, cousins, in fact, were locked in a vicious feud. They burned each other's homes, attacked one another in broad daylight, and hatred flowed thicker than blood. One day, a traveling merchant named Yassin arrived in the village. He sold basic goods and, over time, gained the trust of both families. He went from house to house, shared meals with them, laughed with them, and listened. That was his mistake. One evening, while dining with one family, he overheard a man cursing the rival family, insulting a young girl from the other side. The merchant, either out of malice or stupidity, carried the insult to her relatives. You know how fragile a girl's reputation can be in a village like that. Rage ignited. The insulted family stormed the other house, and a brutal attack followed. One man was gutted, his brother avenged him by killing someone else from the opposing clan, and so it began. One by one, men from both families fell, murdered in cold blood. The killing field. The farmland. The weapon. Axes. Sickles. They would ambush their victims in the fields, men riding donkeys, carrying tools, only to be struck down from behind. Head split. Throat slit. Blood soaked the soil. And over the years, 52 men died. Eventually, the families sought peace. They met, leaders on both sides sat and agreed to reconcile. They even tried to trace the root of the bloodshed. That's when someone mentioned Yassin, the merchant who started it all. He betrayed us, they said. He ate from our food and destroyed our homes. They decided to kill him. They invited him for a friendly gathering, served him food and drinks, and got him intoxicated. Meanwhile, the women from the family dug a 3-meter pit near the villa with hose and shovels. Once Yassin was drunk, they lured him out for a walk. 9 men surrounded him. They tied him up, dragged him to the pit, and buried him alive. Right there, they built a clay oven over his grave, as if nothing ever happened. Since that day, strange things began to happen on the road leading to Tobeka, near that cursed field. Ghostly figures. Whispers. Shadows. Screams. I laughed nervously, pretending not to care. We stayed until 3 a.m., then walked back to the villa to sleep. As I entered the gate, my phone rang. The atmosphere was chilling. Cold wind blew through tall trees, and the only sounds were distant howls, dogs, or worse. I answered my phone. It was Sally, my friend. I didn't want to talk inside because of my relatives, so I stayed out, chatting. Time passed. Suddenly, I realized I had wandered far, too far, from the villa. Looking around, I felt a terrifying realization: I was standing exactly where the massacres had taken place. Panic set in. I turned to leave and heard footsteps, whispers, but no one behind me. I walked faster. Then I saw it. A donkey, or what looked like one, standing motionless in a water canal. But it wasn't a donkey. Its ears were too long, its eyes glowed faintly. I froze. Reciting Quranic verses, I kept my gaze down and walked past it. Every time I stopped reading, the presence grew stronger. Then came the fish. Hundreds, no, millions, of massive fish leapt in the nearby canal. Splashes echoed like cannon blasts. No canal could hold this many fish. It was unnatural. And then I saw her. A woman. Cloaked. Faceless. Holding a clay jar. She whispered, "Take this, boy." I didn't respond. She called again. When I turned to face her, she was gone. But her voice now screamed, shaking the air. "You think you can ignore me? You'll regret this." Then came the dogs. 9 black hounds, foaming, sprinted from the fields, chasing me. I ran. I fell. I ran again. I reached the sunrise, the fields now lit with orange light. Rabbits filled the farmland, hundreds of them. And there, among them, sat 3 men dressed in pitch-black galabeas, holding crucifix-like sticks. One of them looked at me and muttered, "Come back here again, and you're dead." His voice was inhuman, deep, thunderous. I screamed, ran, and made it back to the villa. My clothes were torn, my hands bruised, my mind shattered. Inside, my cousin joked, "Bro, you were just on the phone for 2.5 hours. We thought you ran away." My aunt stared at me. "You went to buy snacks. Then where are they? And why is your arm bleeding?" I lied. Said I dropped them. Washed my hands. Ate in silence. Then my uncle said something that made my blood run cold. "Did you hear about that boy who fainted on the Tobacco Road last night? They say he's possessed by a Christian and Jewish jinn." I couldn't breathe. Later, when I tried to call my friend Sally, I realized, my phone was gone. The next day, someone called my cousin and said they found it. When I got it back, there was a note with it, and in the gallery, photos I never took. Old, blurry images of villagers, dressed like it was 100 years ago. I showed one to a local. His father was there. "That's Yasin," the father whispered. And just like that, the story of the cursed road began again.